All right, let's just get right into it. For the last couple of years, it really felt like the big battle for AI supremacy was all about chatbots. Well, that's over. The entire battlefield has just changed. We're now deep in the era of the AI agent wars, and it's a high-stakes global competition that's moving way faster than anyone predicted. And look, don't just take my word for it. Those are the words of Geoffrey Hinton, one of the godfathers of AI, talking about Google's position compared to OpenAI. I mean, that's a stunning reversal and a huge sign of just how volatile this new war has become. So, what kicked all this off? What really changed? Well, the race has fundamentally evolved. We've moved way beyond simple text generators and into a completely new paradigm. We're talking about agentic AI. And the most important thing to get here is the shift from a passive tool to an active collaborator. It's an AI that doesn't just answer your questions. This is an AI that can perceive its environment, come up with a plan, and then, this is the huge part, actually take action to get things done for you. And this isn't just some simple software update. Just look at this slide. It shows you how massive this new field really is. It's like a whole new science being built in real time, right in front of us. You can see the core components. It's not just about text anymore. It's about perception and memory. And the cognitive architecture involves really complex planning and reflection, which lets these agents think through problems. This even gets into multi-agent systems, where different AIs can work together almost like a team. The complexity here is exactly why we call this a true paradigm shift. So how does an agent actually, think? Well, this diagram shows its brain, which is basically just a constant feedback loop. It starts by perceiving the world through data and what you tell it. Then the large language model at its core plans out the next step, reflecting on its options. It generates an action, uses tools like a web browser or a code interpreter to actually do it, and then, this is absolutely crucial, it observes the result. That observation feeds right back into the beginning of the cycle. This is what true digital autonomy looks like in action. And right at the heart of this new war is a super dramatic rivalry between the two giants who started it all, with a plot twist that basically nobody saw coming. You remember when ChatGPT launched and sent Google into a code red? Of course you do. Well, 3 years later, the tables have completely turned. Reports now suggest that the launch of Google's powerful Gemini 3 models triggered an internal code red at OpenAI, with employees being told to focus on catching up. And you can see that impact right here in the numbers. While ChatGPT is still leading, you can see its market share is slipping, down from 68% just a month before this. Meanwhile, Google's Gemini has just surged from under 6% to over 21% in just 1 year. That is absolutely relentless progress. So, why is this happening? A huge reason is Google's massive structural advantage. Insiders call it the full stack. That means they control everything. They design their own custom TPU chips to train their models, they host them on their own cloud, and they integrate them directly into products that billions of people use. OpenAI, on the other hand, has to rely on its partnership with Microsoft, paying for super expensive infrastructure and NVIDIA chips. But this isn't just a two-horse race. A third, very powerful contender has emerged, and it's carving out its own unique territory in this war: Anthropic's Claude. Claude's strengths are really distinct. It's built a reputation for its constitutional approach to AI safety, which just means it's trained to follow a specific set of principles. That makes it more predictable, and enterprise customers really like that. It's also a powerhouse at processing and reasoning over massive documents. And yeah, it's even become a political player. It was notably omitted from a U.S. Senate memo after facing public criticism from the Trump administration over its perceived biases. But that performance comes at a premium. This table gives you a really clear, real-world cost breakdown. As you can see, using Claude's top-tier model, Opus 4.6, is way more expensive than the flagship models from OpenAI and Google. You can tell they're priced identically to compete head-to-head. Now, while the giants are battling for market share, a powerful rebellion is brewing. The open-source community is building agents that are not just competing, but in some cases are actually winning. And that's the crucial question they're asking. What if the most powerful and productive agent doesn't come from a billion-dollar corporation, but from a global community of developers? Enter Openclaw. The growth of this open-source agent project has been absolutely explosive. I mean, gaining over 250,000 stars on GitHub in just 2 months, that is a huge signal that developers see this as a game changer. And this isn't just hype. Look at this 2026 ranking of the best AI agents for productivity. The top two spots are held by Openclaw, either in a managed version called Claude or self-hosted. It's beating out established players for real-world use cases. What's making this open source rebellion so potent is how accessible it is. You no longer need to be a developer to run a top-tier agent. For about $45 a month, a managed service like Claude gives you a ready-to-go, always-on Openclaw agent with zero setup. They bundle all the different model costs into one simple price. So, with these titans, third powers, and open source rebels all in the fight, what does this escalating war mean for the future of AI and for all of us? The stakes are incredibly high. First, you've got these rising geopolitical tensions. OpenAI has formally accused Chinese AI labs like DeepSeek of free riding by using clever distillation techniques, which is just a fancy way of saying they're training a smaller model to mimic and copy the capabilities of a bigger, more powerful US model. Second, the entire race is being constrained by the scarcest resource, compute power. And third, these new agentic capabilities introduce completely new risks, like hallucination in action, where a model's error isn't just wrong text, but a failed action in the real world. And let's be super clear, this is a truly global race. It's not just happening in Silicon Valley. Powerful and innovative models like the video generator Cdance 2.0 and the language model DeepSeek are emerging from China, proving that competition is heating up everywhere. Which brings us to the final question. As this war for AI supremacy rages on, are we heading towards a future dominated by one winner-take-all super agent? Or is the rise of powerful open-source projects and specialized agents like Claude a sign that the future is a diverse ecosystem, one that changes the nature of the fight entirely?